this one. You're still watching Breakfast Central on News Central. It's a Thursday, July 22nd. Let's carry on with the program, this time for some business. Now, as businesses, especially those based in KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa and the Gauteng region, pick up the pieces from several days of devastating unrest, violence and looting, they face the decision of whether to stick it out in an underperforming economy or cut their losses. Now, the likes of Toyota Motor Company has voiced their concern about its future in South Africa, sending a letter to the eThekwini municipality requesting an action plan from local government.
Now, it has since said it received a positive response from the country, the city and the province in the form of a recovery roadmap. During a meeting with the business leadership on Tuesday, President Cyril Ramaphosa said now, more than ever, South Africa needed united action across the economy and the society to drive investment and inclusive growth.
But the big question is, so many people are asking, is will the recent unrest in South Africa trigger the investments of key firms? Now, we have our business editor, Naz Agwalaya, joining us this morning alongside financial analyst and founder Awaba Tunji Andrews, who's also regular on Breakfast Central. Now, gentlemen, good morning, welcome. It's been several days after the unrest in South Africa, or since the unrest. Where does this leave the country's economy? I'll start with you first, Naz.
Good morning, guys. Well, as it is now, the nation is trying to recover. The president has addressed everybody, particularly the private sector, and even the insurance sector, which of course will come in handy at this time, has assured policyholders that yes, they will be taken care of. That is, policyholders. But the big question is those who do not have policies. I mean, talking about the 150 individuals, small businesses, who do not have anything to fall back on. Yet there's a small ray of hope for them. The president also addressed that a fund will be set up to take care of those individuals. So let's just say if the government sticks to his word, South Africa will be back on track.
Right. Now, as we speak, the Toyota vehicle, they have resumed operation after the unrest the major unrest that happened in one of the provinces in South Africa. But for you, Tunji, can you tell us really what it could mean if a major automobile company chooses to leave South Africa, a country as that, with what is happening in the country? Can you just walk us through the economic implication that will mean for South Africa?
So first of all, I don't think that Toyota will leave South Africa for many reasons. For the infrastructure set up in South Africa, for the number of absolute people who buy brand new cars in South Africa, and the fact that South Africa is sort of a regional hub for them to export to that particular part of Africa. It just makes sense to continue with Africa. But of course, the disruption to operations is a major thing for them, and they wouldn't like that. So I do not think they want to leave, at least not in the immediate. So what they're just asking for is some sort of reassurance that the government will be able to respond quicker to to such unrest in the future. My feeling is that South Africa was not prepared, as most countries are not, for that kind of breakdown in law and order.
Yeah, well, Tunji, no one really is, and that brings me to the question, of business owners. Where do they begin? You're not making profit. The economy is, stagnating. It's having free fall, and you then have to go through such huge losses to your shops, pharmacies, supermarkets, and employees. Job cuts. Don't you think this will have a ripple effect that South Africans may not recover from, especially in those places like Gauteng, where the riots are really heavy?
I generally think so. So one of the reasons why you see things like this happen, where people generally tend to, it's a free for all, let me grab what I can grab. There was a news report of the head of a financial institution who was also caught looting. The general thought is that people tend to do this when there is deep inequality in the society, and South Africa is one of those places which has deep inequality, and the people are just lashing out at that fact. But that said, the people who suffer the most from this kind of a thing is the people who did it, because they tend to lose jobs. they tend to lose access to food and all the supplies that they've just looted for a while. And the insurance covers the businesses themselves. The people who are employed to those businesses are people like the looters themselves. So it doesn't help anybody, but it does speak to the fact that governments need to start to speak urgently to the issue of wealth redistribution. It cannot just be some people in a little part of the country eating all the money and then everybody else is left to fend for themselves. We must all move together, nobody left behind.
Right. Now, Nas, I would like to ask if you share the same sentiments, especially when it comes to insurance. Looking at those businesses, a lot of them were not insured. How do you think they can recover, and how can insurance company tap into this? Because while some people see it as a curse, it could be a blessing for insurance sector.
Truly, I really agree with you there. Yes, not everyone is covered. In fact, general insurance does not cover this type of incident. But a special insurance has been in operation in South Africa at SASRA. I can't remember the full meaning. But this particular sector, this particular insurance body has come out and announced that they are ready and they are able to take care of those that has policies with them. Now, leaving that, those who do not have policies, I mentioned something earlier that the government has come out that yes, they understand that the middle class and really micro entrepreneurs who do not have insurance policies to start off with, they would get a fund and verify the claims which each individual has come up with and do something to help them. So exactly how much that will be and of course when it will start is what we're not clear with, but the government has promised and we do believe that they will do something about that.
All right, Tunji, and I'll also bring on this one to you, Naz. Lots of electronic equipment were stolen, big shops were looted, big malls were looted, which means you have a couple of, bootleg products, I don't know what the term to use, in the market, on the streets right now. So how does that really play out going forward, especially for investor confidence and people bringing their heavy goods, luxury items or whatever, electronics, back into South Africa, knowing that things like this can erupt at any time?
I agree with you, but South Africa is an economy that has a better insurance inclusion than Nigeria. South Africa is even a society that has death insurance. That is a major thing that everybody seems to understand. So insurance is not so foreign to them, and a lot of them will be insured. Not all of them, but a lot of them will be insured. The general thought at the end of the day is you want to look at the businesses themselves. We have a lot of people who have brought in electronics, cars, all those kinds of equipment. The government will sort many of them. The insurance will sort the rest of them. And most people will get back on their feet. A large portion of the people will get back on their feet. I've seen stories of Nigerians who have shops in South Africa who have said, well, once I get my insurance check, I'm heading back to Nigeria, or I'm heading back to so country I come from. The problem is it will affect the economy more. People will get their money back, more businesses will open in the future, but I think on the long run, the economy may suffer for it. And the economy is flirting with a recession just like ours is. So this might just not be a very good thing for them.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Tunji Andrews, regular on Breakfast and founder of Awaba, and our business editor, Naz Akbalaya. Well, Naz, it means that no buying of any goods on the streets now in South Africa, especially when
Right.
you have to look at the product well.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, guys.